Today I'm going to be showing you the leveling route and build I am playing for what is looking like the best Druid leveling build going into Season 5, as well as one of the strongest in-game builds in Season 5. And would you believe me when I say it's Companion Druid? First, there are two things we want to do. Go to Kiovashad and do the Raising Spirits quest to get a bundle of herbs. Then we want to go to Gayakul and Kedgistan and do the Pinch of Poison side quest. This will give us access to being able to double pot, which is going to give us a nice 8% experience boost, as well as give us some early access to potions. For skills, you're going to want to either go Maul and Shred or Claw and Pulverize as your starting ability and core skill, with Wild Claw and Primal Pulverize, or Fierce Maul and Primal Shred. Second, we want to take a look at what aspects we can get. These change from season to season as part of the season journey. Now, I don't know this for sure, but I do have a feeling Spirit Bond aspect and Wild Rush aspect will be in the season journey, since they are the new aspects being in this season. So as we level, we want to complete the season journey so we can pick those up easily, just in case we have bad RNG. And if for some reason aspect of the Alpha, Wild Rage, or Stampede is included in the season journey, then we definitely want to be doing the season journey to get those, because those are all going to be big damage increases for our build, which is going to help us unlock World Tier 3 at the earliest possible level. Once we see what aspects are available in our season journey, we want to head over to some dungeons, as doing them at a lower level will make them easier to complete. The first aspect we want is Shepherd's Aspect. You get Shepherd's Aspect in Blood-Soaked Crag and Dry Steppes. If you weren't aware, Shepherd's Aspect was changed going into Season 5, so it now buffs your companion skills for each companion that is out. So yep, you guessed it, we are going to just take loads of companion skills to buff up all of their damage. Companions have a massively high base damage, and the fact we're getting such a big multiplier early is going to make them crush the early game even harder. Put this on a two-handed weapon. Because of the addition of early Helltides, you shouldn't have crafting material issues anymore. If you don't like having to constantly remake it though, as you will be swapping out your weapon a lot, just go ahead and put it on your amulet. Then you're going to want to put points into your skill tree as follows. Put points into Bloodhowl using your preference of Innate or Preserving. Then put a couple points into Predatory Instincts. This will help unlock the companion portion of your skill tree. Then you're going to want to take Wolves first, as it has the lowest cooldown. Then take Poison Creeper. Then take Ravens. Then you can take Enhanced Wolf Pack, Brutal Wolf Pack, Enhanced Poison Creeper, Ferocious Poison Creeper, Enhanced Ravens, Brutal Ravens. Then you want to go ahead and take Call of the Wild. Then you're going to start maxing out each companion skill. Once you get to when you are at Ravens, you can do these like in whatever order you want, depending on which companion skills you like. But you're going to get, once you get 2 of them maxed out, you'll be able to get 1 of them up to 3, and then you're going to want to go down and get the Bestial Rampage key passive, as this is going to be a 50% damage increase for all your companions and a 60% attack speed buff, or sorry, a 30% attack speed buff. Next, we want to get Aspect of Might. This is going to give us some solid damage reduction when we use a basic skill, which we'll be using a decent amount, as it will be the primary way we reset our companion skills. You get the Aspect of Might in Dark Ravine and Dry Steppes. Speaking of resetting our companion skills, remember at level 15 you want to go unlock Spirit Boons at Tol Dra. Getting Pack Leader as your first boon. This is going to give us a way to reset our companion skill. Remember, you will be getting tempering manuals, so adding companion damage, wolf CDR, and really any temperings that you find are only going to be helpful, especially if you get companion finesse. Getting an extra 100% damage to Poison Creeper early on is actually very, very good, even if it's additive, because additive is stronger early and worse later on in the game. Then we want to go get Rapid Aspect in Buried Halls and Dry Steppes. This is going to give us a boost to our basic skill, attack speed. Next, a solid pickup is going to be Disobedience. If Juggernaut's Aspect is available to the season journey, you're going to want that instead, or if you get that to drop. But this is going to help us get our armor up whenever we attempt to do the Capstone dungeon at a very low level, to make sure we have enough armor to reduce the amount of damage that we're taking. Now we will go to the Helltides until levels 35 to 40 that are now available in World Tier 2 because of the Season 4 changes. Sit next to the Blood Maiden, as on launch there should be tons and tons of people there constantly chaining this. Your ideal situation is going to be sitting next to a Blood Maiden, farming loads and loads of loot and embers to open up chests to get more gear and more legendary drops. Your goal is to be able to find all the stuff that you're needing. So as you're doing the Hell Tides and you get drops, be on the lookout for these aspects. Aspect of the Wild Rage, aspect of the Alpha, aspect of the Stampede, and aspect of the Moon Rage. Put aspect of the Wild Rage on your gloves, aspect of the Alpha on your weapon. If it's higher than your Shepherd's, then move Shepherd's to your necklace. If Shepherd's is higher, you can keep it on your two-handed weapon. Then put Stampede and Moon Rage on your rings. These are going to be the offensive aspects that you're going to need for your in-game build later on, so if you find them, these are very big scores. So now, depending on what drops you get in the Hell Tide and how comfortable you are with the build, you should be able to unlock World Tier 3 anywhere from levels 35 to 40, depending on what drops you get. I did it in Season 4 with just an aspect of the Alpha, so that's going to be kind of wild also having Shepherds on top of that. For your next skill points, you should just be filling out passives. Put 1 point into Neurotoxin, 3 points into Envenom, put 3 points into Quick Shift, 1 point into Natural Fortitude, and 3 points into Heightened Senses. Put another point to Predatory Instincts to finish it, then put 3 points into Iron Fur, then put 3 points into Ancestral Fortitude, and 3 points into Vigilance. Then put 1 point into Toxic Claws, in that order. After you get into World Tier 3, you're going to have a couple of options. So first, you can still sit in Hell Tides by the Blood Maiden to get some free levels if you're not feeling super strong yet, or maybe you got unlucky and didn't get drops, just so you can get free Sacred item drops in order to get up to Sacred gear, because you can start wearing Sacred gear at around level 40, so that'll help increase your power by quite a lot. Now, it wasn't worth it on the PTR, but you can go unlock Infernal Hordes, and you should at least unlock it, just because you won't be able to get the Infernal Compasses, I believe, until you unlock it. But unfortunately, they had a very poor reception on the PTR, so I'm expecting massive buffs to Infernal Hordes when it goes live. It was very grindy, very boring. It was hard to get compasses. It really wasn't an overall fun time when it came to that on the PTR. So if you found enough gear, you can go into Nightmare Dungeons and begin leveling glyphs, as I believe in World Tier 3, Nightmare Dungeons will give you higher experience than Hell Tides because of all of the events and stuff that you can find in Nightmare Dungeon. But the Hell Tides will give you far more loot. So it is most likely be worth it for you to stay into Hell Tides until you have your gear and then immediately move into Nightmare Dungeons, assuming that the Infernal Hordes don't get some uber buff that's going to make people want to just go do and spam that. But I don't really expect that to happen, but I do expect them to get buffed. Okay, so once you have your gear and once you're feeling kind of strong, once you have aspect of the Alpha, aspect of the Stampede, you really only need maybe 2 to do this, but you can do World Tier 4 at about level 45 now. I know, which that sounds kind of wild, but yes, you are strong enough. You just need to make sure that you have something like Juggernauts on to get your armor up, Disobedience on to get your armor up. It's mainly like just making sure you have these base level defenses to make sure that you don't just get one shot by auto attacks. So as long as you have that and then a couple of damage aspects, you should have no problem with this. I definitely did World Tier 4 insanely early. Yeah, but you'll most likely have the damage for it extremely quickly. So once you're in World Tier 4, my recommendation would be go again, sit in the Hell Tide right by the Blood Maiden. If you can find one of those groups chaining, that's going to be super beneficial, because I will say this, I think doing the World Tier 4 one super duper early, it's still somewhat challenging to do World Tier 4, so you want to be careful. So what I did was I unlocked World Tier 4, I was still having some problems, and then I just went and sat next to a Blood Maiden, got some Ancestral gear, and then all of a sudden I was fine, right? The main thing is just getting your Ancestral weapon whenever you're jumping these tiers. Once you go from like a normal to a Sacred, or an Ancestral, or a Sacred to an Ancestral, you'll see this big jump in damage, and then once you start getting the gear, you'll see a bigger jump in survivability. Once you're able to clear World Tier 4 comfortably, I mean, really the only thing left to do is just Nightmare Dungeons. Nightmare Dungeons all the way to 100 is going to be the fastest thing. Now keep in mind, if you've been enjoying doing the Hell Tides, you can always just sit in Hell Tides and continue to do that. It will be slower, but hey, honestly, who cares? Like, do what's fun. I'll probably end up doing Nightmare Dungeons just because I like getting the Glyph EXP and I like getting that knocked out of the way on the way up to 100, as opposed to having to farm for glyphs post 100. So yeah, so that's definitely what I'll be doing. When it comes to the Paragon board, the main thing is getting to wilds quickly. You want that, as it's a 130% passive damage boost for your companions, and it is no joke. Your Wolves autos are just going to go Super Saiyan once you get it. After that, You know, getting things like Heightened Malice and then Tracker that increases your poison duration by 40% are going to be the next big increases. And then on top of that, getting Spirit. But after that, you're not going to notice the most insane difference in terms of like from your Paragon. So I'm just going to put the initial Paragon that's going to take you up to about level 75, because then, I mean, once you get to the point where you have what I have in this Paragon board, I'm going to have linked, you'll be ready to transition to an in-game build anyway if you're not already there. So I'll be releasing an in-game guide early on in the season. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. This is going to be the leveling ground I'm going to follow. This is going to be what I'm going to do when Season 5 hits and all future seasons, unless something like a seasonal theme changes. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time.